Come check out owlsherbs.com where we have all of your herbal needs and different variety of products from sea moss to black seed oil and a different variety of products for different health issues because your health is your wealth. What's going on? I'm going to be talking about erectile dysfunction, basically ED, not to be confused with eating disorder. As a disclaimer, I am not a health practitioner or a medical doctor. These topics and display points that I'm going to be talking about is basically information that is on any website that you would see as far as like WebMD that displays different symptoms of erectile dysfunction as well as the solutions as well. Now, what I am is a herbalist. I sell herbs, and I also know quite a bit about different natural treatments for erectile dysfunction. One of the products that I sell the most is called Sex God, and pretty much it helps relieve certain symptoms with erectile dysfunction. Now, the reason that I'm doing this video though is to kind of put things in perspective more and drill down into what you can do if you have erectile dysfunction. Because actually, erectile dysfunction is the byproduct of something that's much more worse. A lot of times, your lack of sexual prowess, shall I say, having erectile dysfunction is an alarm to something that is much worse. And I'm going to be talking about that today, as well as other things and solutions. Because a lot of times, people, I sell my product on my website, Sex God, owlsherbs.com, as well as I sell it on Etsy and eBay. For most of my sales comes from eBay. At one time, I was getting a lot of sales from Etsy. Okay, so I'm going to be just kind of putting this in perspective of giving you some solutions because, like people that ask me a lot of times on Etsy, will this just be like a magic pill that will, solve all your problems? Well, the thing is that it does help with blood flow, but if you have um, other problems, such as what I'm going to be talking about very soon, it's not going to solve all your problems, even to the point where, you might need medical attention. You might need some type of medical, treatment or something of that sort if it's really, really, really bad. Okay. Um, so I'm going to get right into this and we're going to talk about erectile dysfunction. Just to note, this is something that typically starts to be a problem for people that are in their, I would say, 30s. I would say more so mid 30s typically. And I've even heard just of recent someone that actually is in their 20s, mid 20s, that was basically mentioned they had some problems with, basically erectile dysfunction. Okay. So the question is, why is ED so prevalent? Well, the culprit that I'm going to be drilling down into is clogged arteries. Clogged arteries is the reason why a lot of times people they like, man, I just take my little pill, whether it be Cialis or Viagra or whatever, and then I'm on, and it's fine. And the thing about it is, you need other things other than pills to resolve your issues, to work on your issues. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So, like I say, the common culprit is clogged arteries. Okay, your basically you go to the dentist. Okay, right, and your dentist says we need to remove this plaque. Right, this plaque build up on your teeth, commonly from not brushing, and basically from animal byproducts, primarily chicken, beef, pork. The calcium, the cholesterol from the meat that you eat, it builds up plaque, and that same plaque, that white substance that's in between your teeth, it travels in your bloodstream and it goes into your arteries. Okay, and basically, this picture up here is a primary picture of what a buildup in the artery wall and the narrowing of the blood vessel. So this is like a main blood vessel right here. This is like your main arterial like wall, right? Goes from your face all the way down to your neck into your lungs. So imagine you have artery buildup in your main artery wall, and that's way up by your head, right? And it going all the way down into your stomach, into your, uh, basically growing area to your penis is also clogged up. So that pill, whether it be natural or whether it be a medical solution, such as, like I say, Viagra, Cialis, Vitra, what it's doing is busting those artery walls temporarily so you can get it up, so you can get the Kuwang food, right? And the thing is that after it subsides, you still have clogged arteries. You haven't addressed the problem. You just have some type of temporary measure that might give you some results that are temporary. So I'm going to read this, and it explains what arterial plaque creates clogged arteries, why it does that. It says basically arteries are blood vessels that carry blood rich in oxygen throughout your body. They go to your brain as well as the tips of your toes. Healthy arteries have smoother inner walls and blood flows through them easily. Some people, however, develop clogged arteries. Clogged arteries result from a buildup of a substance called plaque, as I mentioned earlier, on the inner walls of the arteries. Plaque can reduce blood flow or, in some instances, block it altogether. Clogged arteries greatly increase the likelihood of heart attack, stroke, and even death. Because of these dangers, it is important to be aware, no matter how old you are, of the causes of artery plaque and treatment strategies to prevent serious consequences. So, like you said, artery build up from plaque. It doesn't matter your age. Okay, I'm a basketball enthusiast. I remember a couple people. Okay, one would be Eddie Curry, ex-player, the Chicago Bulls. Went to the rival high school that I went to. Uh, he was a freshman. I was a senior at the time in high school, and he pretty much his career was ended because basically he had some issues, some heart issues, and definitely that the source of it definitely I would say would be something to do with clogged arteries. Reason being is a lot of times this is associated with a lot of different things, one being diabetes, one also being high blood pressure, obviously, because the blood is pumping, it is pumping rapidly because it is trying to is having a hard time getting the blood through all of that plaque buildup. Okay, that's why thus the reason why people a lot of times have high blood pressure. And what happens is basically this, just in short, because we eat a lot of high uh, cholesterol diets, such as um, let's just say barbecue meats, different types of meats, also heavy meat intake, right? And not a lot of fruits and vegetables. I'm gonna be honest, I've even met women. I've been with women that they don't even like they don't even eat vegetables and don't really too much like fruit either. Like it's weird, you know. But it's people that yeah, they take the disdain for vegetables from their childhood, and they're like when as soon as they get in adulthood, they're like, man, oh, I ain't got nobody to tell me to drink my vegetables now. So guess what? I'm not gonna eat vegetables. And I mean, all of the problems come from basically a lot of different things, such as, like I say, not eating a lot of a healthy diet. Primarily, everything kind of similarly starts from what you put in your mouth. Like for example, this picture here of the main arterial wall. This is coming from your mouth, basically your lower jaw down to your ear to your throat. So that's telling you right there. That's where the starting point of where the problems arise. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I love a nice juicy steak. Right now, I've cut my meat intake to every other day, and I'm gonna start lowering it to uh, every 2 days. I'm gonna go 2 days without meat, and the goal is to basically try to decrease my meat intake down to once a week, and then ultimately, hopefully, to eliminate it altogether. Even though that's been a challenge, but definitely something that I'm working on myself. So I'm not gonna be you know making this and then just basically talking about it, and I'm not doing anything about it too, because this is something that definitely affects me as well. So as it reads, as it continues, what causes arterial plaque? Plaque that accumulates on the inner walls of your arteries is made from various substances that circulate in your blood. These include calcium, fat, cholesterol, cellular waste, and fibrin, a material involved in blood clotting. In response to plaque buildup, cells in your arterial walls multiply and secrete additional substances that can worsen the state of clogged arteries. As plaque deposits grow, a condition called arterial cirrhosis results. This condition causes arteries to narrow and also harden. Yeeks. So this is the reason. Like people be like, oh man, does your pill work or whatever? it's not a pill, it's a capsule. But I'm like, yeah, it works. But if you're not drinking water, you're not, doing some of the other things that I'm going to be talking about later, it's just a temporary fix at best. You know, so basically, this is something that is just a cause of alarm. Not just It's not so much you know sexual related. It's related to a lot of different things. Okay, downright to an early death. It's almost like this. This is the way I look at it. So yeah, the meat industry, is kind of somewhat. I wouldn't even say somewhat of a very violent death, right? We, kill these cows and everything, and pigs and everything. You know, the final thing that basically the revenge that they get from us eating them and enjoying their deliciousness is that meat and that cholesterol and that plaque that builds up from eating those meats, right? It builds up into our bodies, and it slowly builds up, and it slowly builds up, and nobody stops eating. Just think for a second, just pause for like 5 seconds and think, when was the last time you went a day without eating? 2 days, 3 days, and it wasn't associated with you being sick. If you really think about it, you probably can go back years without even thinking about the time that you basically fasted, the time you went without food, or for like 24 to 48 hours, and it wasn't associated with you having a flu or something like that, or COVID. You Most people don't have any breaks in a 3 square meal diet, which, if you really think about it, it's literally your body just working like a constant machine, trying to break down all of this food, and thus basically blocking, having arterial blockage. Now, here's another thing that, is so much happens in life, right? Even on another person that you would know that had the same issue, and he had to end his NBA career. Um, is I said Eddie Curry. The other one was I gotta think about it. He played for Toronto, and then he went to Miami, and he actually had blood clots, and he had to retire early. Um, his name was on the top of my tongue, but I actually um, I'm gonna look it up real quick because I really it's like I know pretty much who it was, but Chris Bosh, yeah. Chris Bosh had to retire early, and he had to retire because he was getting blood clots in his leg. Blood clots can kill you. Basically, that's what I read in the article right here. It could actually kill you, because it's literally could block your blood flow through your heart, and then you have a main artery in your leg as well, so that's why it's not uncommon if somebody gets shot in the leg and actually die because they bleed out or whatever, because you have a main artery somewhere in your leg. And then on a personal level, this how close this hits to me. I just went to a funeral. I had a cousin that died a couple weeks ago, from this very same condition. She had arterial blockage in her arteries. Okay. Now here's the deal. My cousin loved eating. Typically, a lot of Aquarius women. They love eating. They love my mother the same way. She loved eating, even knowing the doctor tell you, you know, you got to stop eating, kind of like Big Mama and soul food. You know, they even after Big Mama died, you know, they what did they do? They had the same dinner the following Sunday. They killed Big Mama. So it's like basically it's the same thing. She didn't want to stop the fried food. She actually used to love taking pictures of the food that was actually ultimately uh, led to her demise. It's just sad, man, that you know, to see somebody in real time knowing that this is not gonna end well. You know, it literally, you know, it's not gonna end well typically. That if you don't stop and you don't take life by the horns, life is gonna take you by the horns. And I mean, it literally, like, man, I remember, you know, we talk regularly, and shoot, the next day, literally, she was gone. I was washing clothes, and my cousin said, "Yo, you know, my cousin died," and I was like, "Damn," you know. I mean, my sister, she died of COVID. She had COVID, but the underlying condition was she had a heart attack. She slumped over in because she had a heart attack because she had the same situation. She had, you know, she was eat, you know, pretty much the standard American diet with soul food, you know, to match. And it wasn't no fasting being done. It wasn't no, okay, I'm gonna eat a salad for the day and then not eat. It was just no nonstop, like just you know. I love soul food. I love eating. Obviously, you can look at me and tell I love eating food, man. I haven't even really went too crazy with it. Like, you know, they have. I'm in the Chicago area. I ain't never been to no steakhouse and had no like $50 steak that's like a half a pound or a pound or whatever. Like, I haven't even done it crazy, but even the thought of it makes my arteries just clog up. Like, I mean, just thinking about it, my heart is just like palpitates thinking about it, because I know I'm gonna probably do it at least one time and just get it out the way. But I don't know, man. I have to go a whole week without eating or something, or go vegan for a whole week and then try it. I don't know. But the thing is that it was no stoppage. It was like good food every single day, meaning good food that's tasty, high in calories, high in fat, high in carbohydrates, and that shit don't do nothing but clog up the arteries, clog them up like traffic in Chicago after 5. You know, and yeah, man, this shit. Even my mother, my mother gone because of this. My mother had died for because of a heart condition, you know, related to clogged arteries. Okay, I mean, those pills don't work. Those pills they give you, they don't work. That shit, I done seen too many people take them and die. I done went to too many funerals of my own family members to know that shit don't work. Ain't a medical profession that could come on here and tell me that shit works on a long term basis. I done seen too many fucking deaths just in my own anecdotal life to know, and I could ask anybody else and say that shit don't work. They'll tell me the same shit. They'll tell me, okay, cousin Junebug, cousin Peto, cousin cousin Keisha went to the, you know, had heart issues and stuff like that, and they was taking the pills, taking statins and shit. Shit don't work because the temporary solutions don't solve long term issues. You can slice this up and put it on wherever World Star, as far as I'm concerned, because it doesn't. It's just pretty much, you know, at my age, being in my early 40s, I know a little something. I don't know everything, But I know a little something. One thing I do know is I've seen a lot of people take these pills and not solve the underlying issues. And, pretty much next thing you know, you're going to a funeral. A lot of times, life is like this. You either gonna get stronger or you're gonna get weaker. You got two choices. You don't have you can choose either one, but a lot of times, just like you came in, you had to fight to come in. You had to swim up your mama's vagina and hit that egg. A lot of times we get comfortable and we stop fighting. Unfortunately, you got to keep fighting. A lot of times people don't want to fight for their life. It's just it's kind of difficult because the easiest thing to do is just fall back. So what's going on, Dave Vatu? I don't know who that is, or you know, y'all avatars, man, be killing me, boy. I don't know who the hell this is, but I be seeing you on other people's chats and stuff. Somebody said lots of bread too. Yeah, it's something with that bread because I saw a lot of people. I remember Fat Joe, he lost a lot of weight and he said he gave up bread. There's something to that, and it's something to it basically. So yeah, this is a major issue. And another thing, a lot of times they'll do heart surgery. They have to they have to put a stent in your arterial, basically your arteries in your heart. And basically that surgery, I don't know how much it costs. I think it's like 50 grand or something. It's expensive. And that's it's probably more expensive now. They actually have to put a lot of people, they get a, I don't want to say, yeah, a lot of people I would say they get a stent. They get a heart stent in their heart because they're like this person is probably a week or two, a month away from having a heart attack. Let's go ahead and do surgery, put a stent in the artery wall to basically open it up, put some type of device into the heart to basically open those artery walls manually. I mean, it's big business, into this thing because it's like, man, I mean, it's so much that you have to do uh to reverse it, and a lot of people don't want to reverse it. Okay, they don't want to reverse it because it just takes so much to reverse it. So let me make this bigger. Okay, make this a little bit bigger. So symptoms of clogged arteries are as follows. It's a ear crease, male pattern baldness, okay, calf pain. You start having calf pain, and then basically the underlying condition that I, pretty much focus on is erectile dysfunction, ED. Basically having a hard time getting it up, having a hard time maintaining an erection, even all the downright to even getting impotent. Because after a while, if you could get to a point where you are no longer, able to even get it up. You can't, maybe at first you can get it up, but it doesn't stay up. Then, basically after that, you got swimming pool penis, like just pretty much you can't get it up. Now here's the deal: we all gonna reverse into being an old man one day and go back to being kind of like a little boy again to a baby, to where we obviously can't get it up. I mean, it's gonna happen to us. The thing is, it's happening sooner to a lot of people because of, like I say, a lot of underlying problems. Okay. So Another cause of erectile dysfunction, like I say, the first thing I say, old age. I mean, you know, you can go out like Isaac Hayes. Isaac Hayes was 82 years old. He was on a treadmill. He just had a 2 year old baby before he died. He was 82, I believe, with a 2 year old baby. So he was running on that treadmill trying to keep up with his 32-year old, 30 something year old wife, at the time. So basically, that's that's something with men a lot of times. Your penis is actually an alarm bell to underlying health conditions. If you're typically for men, if your penis is having issues, it's a sign that you have other underlying issues that's associated. Because if anybody knows about chakras, the root chakra is where your penis is. So a lot of times, your flow of your chakras are so associated to a blockage. So your chakra, basically, your chakras are blocked at the root. Thus, the reason why you have erectile dysfunction is something upper. Your upper chakras are having issues, right? Flowing down. So, basically, your penis not being able to function properly lets you know that there are some underlying health issues that you need to focus on. So, like I say, old age is definitely one of the reasons and causes for erectile dysfunction. Low testosterone, so low T, right? So your testosterone kind of lowers when you get older. That's why a lot of times older men, even some older guys, they used to be real tough, right? Or real, aggressive. All of a sudden they 50 years old and they real calm, like Mike Tyson, or somebody that was like really rah when they was in their 20s and 30s. Time they get 50, 60, they get real mild. It's because naturally over time your body, your testosterone lowers. Okay, you get less aggressive. Uh, you know, um, the third is stress and anxiety. You know, basically having to deal with life. What I thought about it is, I just thought about this week. Life is chaotic, right? Life is pretty much people are judged on how they deal with chaos, because life is chaos. We on a planet right now that they say is going like 15,000 miles a minute, or 120,000 miles a minute, or something like that. I mean, it's literally going really fast. We can barely notice it. Sometimes you can notice it if you look at the clouds and the clouds are moving. Well, that's right, because the planet is moving. So the thing about it is, on this planet, you have, billions of people, you have animals, you got insects, you got the below the earth is moving, traffic. I mean, trying to be able to compete in society. Basically, life is chaos. I mean, we can all agree on that. Basically, you're judged on how you can deal with that chaos. From that comes a lot of stress and anxiety. So yeah, number four is lack of sleep. Okay, a lot of times, trying to deal with that stress and anxiety, trying to do, to compete financially in society. You got to go to work. You got to go to work at times that really are inconvenient for you. If you're not necessarily a morning person, even if you don't really want to go to work and you're tired, you got to go to work. There goes your sleep right there. You might even have periods where you have this long-term insomnia or sleep apnea. A lot of times, a lot of people have that. A lot of famous people have had that, and had to take stuff that ultimately led to their death. Five is smoking and drinking alcohol. I mean, basically, smoking and drinking is toxic to the body. Too much of it is toxic to the body. I was kind of like smoking some weed, right? And I was thinking to myself, like, why am I fucking doing this shit? Like, I mean, duh, let me just go make some CBD oil and put some THC in it, and I ain't gotta fucking smell like smoke. I ain't gotta, do all this shit, and then I ain't trying to have all this shit on my lungs. So yeah, a lot of people smoke cigarettes. I mean, extremely toxic as well. And yeah, that definitely leads to it just all of the other problems. It just compounds those problems. The arterial blockage, basically. Um, and lastly, number six is some medical conditions such as high blood pressure, which high blood pressure is associated with um, you know, a blockage, okay, clogged arteries, okay. So, lastly, what is the treatment for clogged arteries in ED? Better sleep cycles, okay. Kind of going to sleep early, trying to go to sleep early. I would even say, how do you have better sleep cycles? Okay, one of the products that I sell is called Knockout. Okay, a lot of people they don't really know the value of having some good sleep herbs. Just as an added bonus. Now, one thing I will say is even if you take sleep herbs, a lot of times you have to, it takes a while for it to get into your system. And then at the same time, also, if it's really, really bad, you're going to have to, do other things in conjunction with the sleep herbs to help, get you a better night's sleep. So I'm gonna put my link for my sleep herbs in the chat. Okay, and basically that's one of the things you can actually do to help you sleep better is take you something to help you sleep. Some people take obviously they take the meds, right? The ambience and stuff like that. I mean, uh, you know, trust me, for somebody that had insomnia for years, basically at this point, I took all of that and then some. And I'll tell you, I'm at this point, I would say that I'm somewhat of a sleep specialist. And that's the reason why is because I had insomnia, and some doctors even say I had sleep apnea. And I literally I solved a lot of my sleeping problems through a lot of different techniques. Okay. Yoga, which is mentioned on the bottom here, it helps with sleep. Okay. Helps you get some sleep. I couldn't say even more about yoga. Certain poses that, man, it will help you go to sleep fast. Okay. Having a some of the prerequisites of sleep, having a nice, warm, comfortable environment, sometimes even taking a warm bath before you go to bed, like your mama used to do. Mama used to bathe you, she feeds you, put you on the tit, and then next thing you know, you're knocked out. You know, um, sex helps get some sleep ultimately as well. Some people don't have, they're single or whatever. They don't have somebody. They don't have a big booty Betty around to help them get some sleep, to jump on her and get some sleep for a little bit. But yeah, that definitely helps. Um, in certain things such as turkey, celery, milk, it helps you go to sleep, helps you get that rest. And secondly is excessive masturbation. A lot of people watch porn. A lot of people, masturbate, hyper masturbate, meaning they masturbate frequently, like 2 or 3 times a day, every day. Those things ultimately affect your uh, ability to have sex normally and ultimately give you erectile dysfunction. Okay. Ask me how I know. So yeah. Another thing is stress management. Okay. So going back to the 6 causes of erectile dysfunction, okay, that being stress, like I say, the world is chaotic. Your ability to handle that chaos is what makes you the bad motherfucker or woman that you are, literally. And part of that is stress management. Okay, a lot of businessmen, I ain't doing nothing but speaking to the choir. So, okay, task scheduling your tasks, meaning you know what you need to do, you make a task list, right? Day planning, you plan your day a couple nights before or even weekly. This is something this is like executive type stuff, right? CEO type stuff, right? You do a day plan, right? In good old fashioned no. A lot of times people ask you to do stuff. People ask you impromptu, I need this right now. They contact you at 8 o'clock. I need you to do this. Can you help me with this? Why didn't you tell me 8 days ago? How about even 8 hours ago? You telling me at 8 o'clock at night you want this, this, and this, and this. No. Being able to tell people no, and then not really letting it flow without even worrying about it. It helps with this stress because everybody else has their own chaos to deal with. Your children, yeah, you can help them out, but sometimes you gotta let them handle their own chaos. That good old fashioned no would definitely relieve some stress. And after that, increase water intake. So, I'm basically losing weight as we speak. I'm definitely have lost a little bit of weight. I was like, man, I was heavy as heck, man. Embarrassed to say how heavy I was. Last year I was like 300 pounds, and I just got on the scale yesterday, no, 2 days ago, and I weighed in at 280, and I'm like, dang, okay, you know. And the thing about it is, I'm being conscious of what I need to do. I know I need to lose weight. So I cut down on the meat. I only eat meat like 4 times out the week. Um, some days because I really don't have a lot of taste for certain like vegan stuff, and I'm kind of like new to it to a certain degree where I really I'm not really the best vegan cook or vegetarian cook. A lot of days, sometimes I just don't really eat much at all. It's almost kind of like I'm fasting because I like to eat. I like to go to Chipotle and get a veggie burrito. That's probably like one of my favorite like little fast food places. And then I'll get Impossible Whopper. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't really too much of a fan of the Impossible Whopper. But I will smash one of them. But the thing is that that's definitely helping. And definitely when it gets warmer, got my nice little carbon fiber frame bike. Definitely gonna be giving that some use. Um, so yeah, I'm hoping to my goal is for the longest to get back at 250. So the 25 ounces. Okay, that's 25 ounces, 1.9 gallons of basically water a day. So what does that look like? What does 25 ounces look like? It pretty much you would drink um that would be, let's see here. It'll be a bottle that kind of looks like this. This is what big 25-ounce liter, 25-ounce water bottle would look like. So you would drink one of these a day, carry it around with you, and you would engulf this much water a day. And that is typically for someone that is about 250 pounds. Okay. So another thing is diet change. Okay. Diet change. So a lot of times, like I say, my mother, she kind of was forced to change her diet because she just kind of like didn't really, she wasn't able to really eat the way she really wanted to. She had got sick, she lost her job, and she was kind of like eating kind of whatever she could, but she was primarily, I noticed her eating a lot of vegan. And one of the things I was proud of my mother was always heavy set my entire life that I know of. She was like pretty much, you know, give me a break. I forgot the lady's name off the sitcom. I think it was Nail Harper, or you know what? I don't remember, but she ultimately passed away at an early age too. But she was like a heavy set fat lady. She was a single mother, and basically my mom was heavy set all my life for the most part. And then she got back really skinny. She was so skinny that she had a lot of loose skin because she lost so much weight. um but to ultimately, like, yeah, she was helping out somebody. She strained her heart, had a heart attack. But she did change her diet. She did do that, right? My sister, my cousin didn't. But she did. She actually did do that. Um, there's a few diets. They have a low cholesterol diet. That's pretty much like Jenny Craig, um, Nutrisystem diet. Pretty much those are what those are. Um, and then when, like, you go to the grocery store, and you see like the healthy choice brands. That's what those are. Those are low cholesterol meals that basically are for people that's on a diet. They don't really taste that great, but you know that's what a diet is. A lot of times you just changing something so you eating to be healthy, not so much eating for uh you know great taste and high calories and all of that type of stuff, and high fat, because you're trying to basically survive and thrive. The other thing is a keto diet, which is primarily low carbohydrates. you can't go over so many carbohydrates in a day. So you can't hardly eat anything high in carbohydrates. You can't go over like think like 1,500 carbohydrates a day or something like that. So you can't eat hardly any processed food such as any rice, bread, a lot of things like candy. You can't eat it because you want to put your body in a state of ketosis. So you're basically you literally can't. I tried this diet. It's very difficult. It's one of the most difficult. It's damn near probably more just as difficult, if not more difficult, than being on a vegetarian diet. The reason being is you can't eat nothing. You can't eat. You can forget eating some Reese's cups, Kit Kats, chocolate bars, nothing because it's too. They put too much carbohydrates in the stuff that you literally can't. You'll be out of ketosis, so you can't eat it. So you can't have no bread, you can't have no hamburger, none of that because it takes you out of ketosis, so you can't eat it. So another one diet is pescatarian, which basically a pescatarian is someone that eats basically seafood, fish, shellfish, and they eat also a vegetarian diet. They don't eat any chicken, pork, meat, red meat of any kind. That's pretty much what a pescatarian is. A vegetarian that occasionally consumes fish and or even eggs, milk, dairy, but no like I say chicken, no red meat of any kind, whether it be lamb, uh, pork, beef, none of that. Um, and then lastly, the vegan diet, uh, vegetarian diet. I guess if somebody kindly in the comment section, if you cares, a lot of people, a lot of vegetarians and vegans, they argue over, or people that argue over what's a vegan or what's a vegetarian. I'm not going to go into that. I'll leave that for the comment section for anybody that cares. But those are some of the diets, common diets that I've heard of. As many other diets, I'm certainly sure that I didn't put in there. But moving along, these are some of the natural treatments for ED. Garlic. Okay, I like to basically with my teeth just take a clove and just swallow it like a peel because cut it in half with my teeth, swallow it like a peel, and then it goes down to my body because garlic, the taste is kind of like real. It's got the twang to it and stuff like that. It's kind of hard to take, chew on. So I just swallow them. And then vinegar, it's like one of my basically highest viewed video. But as far as me explaining vinegar, I think I was on the toilet while I was doing that video. It actually, like, if you put some like a little small cup of vinegar like in your bathroom, if you like constipated, you literally can take like a couple shots of vinegar and man, it'll immediately get rid of like constipation. You'll start pooing in a minute flat. Watermelon is another ED, helps with ED. Okay. Onions and cayenne pepper. Okay. Those are some of the things that you can take right now at your local uh, health food store. I do not recommend no damn seedless watermelons. Take that and shove it somewhere. Basically, watermelon with the goddamn seeds in it. Fasting. This is basically like This is the secret to this shit. This is the secret to all this shit, right? That nobody really talks about. I've been studying this shit for years. And I'm gonna tell you, fasting is the cure. If I'm lying, I'm dying. And I ain't dying. Fasting literally will help lose weight. I don't know. Okay, here's the thing about fasting, and I'm just saying primarily. Let's just say liquid fasting or water fasting. Fasting will literally, um, it will literally solve a lot of problems and ailments, including rapid weight loss. A lot of times people do um, what a surgery, all kind of stuff, right? I'm gonna tell you, fasting is very difficult. You could just say it's like a diet. It's very, very difficult to do. It's like very, very difficult, but it is extremely effective in ED treatment. Ask me how I know, because I actually had to do this to get myself to put myself in a situation where I knew I wasn't going to embarrass myself. That's how I knew. So I literally went on a fasting. Uh, I fasted for like a half of a week, like about 4 or 5 days. And I'm gonna tell you, man, I gave the performance of like a 19 back when I was 19 years old. Like I literally, man, I know it works. I absolutely know it works. Now, what I did, I didn't do a water fast. I did a liquid fast. But I'm gonna tell you, I mean, you just basically back what I said earlier. You go to back to when you was a kid, to when you can remember, to now. How many times have you stopped eating since that time to now? You probably can't even remember, because we just consume like almost like automatic, like clockwork. We get hungry in the morning, we hungry at lunchtime, we get hungry in the evening, we eat. We eating, we eating, we eating, we eating, we eating constantly 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We eating, right? Um, and there's no breaks on the body. Just constantly eating. Well, fasting gives the body some time to clean up, work on the gears, function properly, kick stuff out that don't need to be in there, you know, um, get all of the waste up out of your body. I'm gonna tell you, like, basically, I actually remember the most tripped out thing about it was that I remember on the third day of actually going on the fast, I was still doing number twos as if I had full meals, and I wasn't even eating. It's because I was so backed up that I literally was still having regular bowel movements, even though I basically uh you know weren't eating. So I'm gonna put a link in the description of my Al's Herbs page, also, as well as in this chat here of my fasting journey. So basically, this is my Al's Herbs video that I basically fasted for about a week, and it was like I say, I was having number twos all throughout the fast, and I was only drinking water, juice, and milk and tea and coffee. Like, I mean, basically, I was still defecating like as if I had a full course meal. Okay. Uh, like I say, it's very, very difficult to do this because of the cravings. The cravings are what makes it very difficult. So it's different types of fasting. You have dry fasting. Dry fasting is pretty much you don't drink anything. This is pretty tough. um, I saw a video of a guy doing a water fast. He was like, I think 500 pounds. He lost about 200 pounds water fasting for a period of, I want to say, 6 months. So yeah, this is very, very good as far as losing weight. And of course, liquid fasting helps as well. I did lose weight doing that. Um, it will immediately, I would say, after a week, depending on how clogged you are, you will get, probably most likely you will notice some functionality in your penis that you never literally felt. Like you'll notice how, like, you supposed to just get like a hard on when the wind blows. Well, the reason you don't do that, you don't get that, is because you're so clogged up. It just is what it is. And the other type of fasting is intermittent fasting. That's like basically you choose one of these fasts, whether it be dry fasting or whatever. You just go a day where you don't eat, or you might even go, let's just say you might go 3 days and you don't eat. And then on the fourth day you eat. Or, you might eat 2 days and then you go 3 days without eating. Well, that's called intermittent fasting. I've never, I don't want to say I've done that, but I've probably done that because whatever reason I was working a lot and I wasn't hungry and I didn't really eat that much or whatever, or might have went a day or two and I didn't eat. But I'm gonna try that maybe and see how that works. But yeah, that's they say that's pretty helpful as well. Another thing is acupuncture. I've never had acupuncture, but I've heard it's effective and kind of dealing with a lot of ailments. Massage therapy, like deep tissue massage, Swedish massage, that is helpful to kind of like manually clear up those arteries in the body and the legs, kind of get more flow to the body. And then, like I say, yoga exercise helps with stretching and kind of stretching the basically your arteries and kind of making them flow better, getting proper poses and bends and stuff like that helps with this situation with having clogged arteries. And then lastly, as far as the natural treatments, exercise definitely is helpful. Walking, running, biking, working out, dancing, a lot of different, just doing anything to get set to basically, that's a Freudian slip. But yeah, basically I almost forgot, like, even a lot of times as it relates to ED, a lot of times people don't, the reason they have ED is because they're not having any sex. I mean, basically they're not performing any, with anyone. So actually it's like kind of like look at other than people masturbating, other than men masturbating, they're not with anybody or they're not seeing anyone, they're not having regular sex. So then basically your body just basically breaks down because it's not being used. Your what I'm saying, penis is not being used. So it's another reason that you might have ED, because you're not working out. You're not sweating it off with anyone, so you're not using it. But lastly, medical treatments, I guess you could look into if all else fails. But it's so many ways that I mentioned that you could use naturally, and even your medical doctor is going to mention some of these, if not most of these, as far as the solution to help you, along with whatever magic pill that they give you or offer you. So this is basically something that can help you out. I saw some people coming in and out. Have a little bit of time. I will share the link. Let me see here. I will share the link to see if someone wants to talk about this issue. Give it some time. Let me drop the link here in case anybody wants to talk about this, or they got a testimony of how they dealt with it. It's getting warm pretty much, and bikes are gonna start coming out. People are gonna start hitting the nature trail, and people are going to definitely get active. People are already active. I mean, there's some people that run and do all kinds of stuff even when it's cold. So yeah, nobody wants to come up, so I'm gonna close this on out.
Hey, you guys, it's Courtney Camaro. I'm outside of Muhammad Ali's real original home. We're in Chicago, and I wanted to shout out Al's Botanics and Herbs. Man, when I tell you, I am one of those people that has insomnia. I can't sleep. I can't focus on some days because I'm so sleep deprived, and this has helped. This is one of the mixtures he has that helps with sleep.